Hi, hello, my name is Freya. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I have not used this platform properly since I made this channel in 2024. If I look back at my old videos, I just see a girl who is scared, terrified even. So today, grab a cup of tea. I'm having a matcha with fig leaf syrup. It's really good, and I've already had half of this, so I am full of caffeine. As you know from the title, we are going to be talking about new books, books that are on the shelf, books that I would like to read. This is me holding myself accountable by talking about it with you guys. Okay, let's start with all of the newer books to me, the arcs that I've received, and books that I've bought just because they looked really good. Starting with a few arcs. Now the first one is called Earthly Playing Field, a novel by Radhika Singh, and this one came out in May of 2026. It sounded very up my alley. Let me tell you why. This is a speculative fiction. Anti-colonialism and internationalism are in the subheaders here. A speculative novel of love and revolution set in a sci-fi present. As the empire wages war on a besieged people, Roma meditates on the role of faith in resistance. While her older brother wields a futuristic technology to hack AI warfare, her younger brother organizes a more local frontline with the Punjabi farmers' protest. Roma encounters Layla in the midst of these struggles and falls helplessly in love, ruminating on mystic poetics and the luminous history linking their ancestral lands. Everything about that sounds really up my alley if you know a singular thing about me, which is that I really love speculative fiction, especially from an anti-colonial perspective, and I really love a good sapphic romance, especially in like a weird dystopian sort of narrative. This all really sounds up my alley. I have a lot of high hopes for it. If anything, I might be scared of it, because if it disappoints me, I'll be really sad. So I was reached out to Common Notion Press that sent this book to me, so thank you very much to the publisher. Can't wait to get into it and review it for you guys. The next one is actually a short story collection that came out this year. It is by Rebecca Roanhorse, which is one of my favorite Indigenous authors around today. Their epic fantasy story that starts with, it must be in here. Hold on. Black Sun, Fevered Star, and Mirrored Heavens are some of my favorite fantasy books ever, okay? So this short story collection I'm actually very excited about. Rebecca Roanhorse's first publication, Welcome to Your Authentic Indian Experience, broke open the larger fantasy and sci-fi field for a generation of upcoming Indigenous writers and was awarded both the Nebula and Hugo Awards for Best Short Story. And Roanhorse was awarded the Astounding Award for Best New Writer. Although Roanhorse began to publish novels, she has continued to write piercing stories that examine the American experience through a marginalized perspective, specifically Indigenous perspectives. In The River of Bones, a novella, Rebecca Roanhorse returns to the Sixth World series, this time from Kai's perspective, as he and Maggie travel back to where he grew up to save his ex from the people who almost beat him to death, her family. A Brief Lesson in Native American Astronomy, winner of the 2019 Ignite Award, explores the tradition of celestial-based storytelling. And Eye and Tooth, a story of black horror about the hunters who hunt the monsters and the monstrous among us. So these three stories are in here. I just realized that one of them is a continuation of a story that I don't think I've read. The Sixth World series is one that I have not read. It seems like there's a lot of books in there. So I clearly have a lot more books to read. Maybe I'll read some of those and then read this, or I'll just pick this up head empty, no thoughts, which I think could work for me. So we'll see. This is the only book that I have on my TBR for this year that is written by a man. Just gonna put that out there. I don't typically read many male authors as it is, and I definitely don't read the white male perspective at all anymore. So yeah, just putting that out there as I put this on my TBR. This one is called The Republic of Memory. It came out in May, and this one is by Mahmud. It's a revolution taking place in space. So the crew aboard a generational ship begins to question why they should toil for a people and an empire none of them remember. The Republic of Memory is a debut. It is comparable to Children of Time or A Memory Called Empire. It's described as an Arab futurist novel, so I put in a request for it with Saga Press. I will be picking this up, and I will be giving a lengthy review, hopefully. The next book that I picked up, I just picked up over the weekend, and I got it at Sour Cherry Comics, which is a lesbian-owned comic book shop in San Francisco that everyone should go to, especially if you were a fan of Silver Sprocket like I was, which closed down earlier this year. You should be going to Sour Cherry Comics. They have an incredible selection all across the board. Please go to Sour Cherry. I picked up this one right here from their table in front, which is only featuring Palestinian and Palestinian written books. And this one is called Homosexual Intifada, a queer Palestinian anthology edited by George Abraham and Hannah Moushabeck. Hannah Moushabeck is the writer and the publisher behind Interlink Books, which is a family-owned publishing house by the Moushabeck family. And George Abraham is a Palestinian writer whose poetry is absolutely incredible and you should pick up. I saw these names, I saw this collection, I saw who was in here. There are a few of my friends who I love and admire so very much, and I had to pick this up. I've already read one of them in here. Everyone go pick this up and read it. Centering queer Palestinian identity and experiences, this essential volume explores themes of displacement, assimilation, belonging, and love across geographies from Jerusalem and Ramallah to New York, Beirut, and beyond. If you were a fan of An Hour Light to Utopia by Mix Yafa or Time Travelers by Sonia Suleiman, I have a feeling you will absolutely love this and you should pick it up. You should also pick up these books too. I love reading queer Palestinian voices and perspectives. You will always see them on my shelf and in my recommendations. Next book. This one has actually been on my TBR for a couple years now, but I am very slowly getting into like a horror thriller space. So this is coming up for me, okay? It's called The Woman Who Had Two Navels and Tales from the Tropical Gothic. I got this a couple years ago from my bookshop. Apologies, my little bookmark is kind of noisy. This one is written by Joaquín, who is considered one of the greatest Filipino writers and has remained little known outside of the Philippines despite writing in English. And so this collection aims to bring more English speakers and readers to his work. He is already a very well-known writer. Set amid the ruins of Manila, devastated by World War II, his stories are steeped in the post-colonial anguish and hopes of his era and meditate on the challenges of the Filipino individual's new freedom after a long history of colonialism. This collection includes his best-known stories and his celebrated play, A Portrait of the Artist as Filipino. So very excited to pick this one up. Read books beyond the heritage months where you hear about them from. I did hear about this during AAPI month, which is in April. And I just feel like people tend to gravitate towards these lists because they see the pretty books and they want to like pick them up, but like they only pick them up during that time or that season. You can pick them up all year round and should. The next one I actually picked it up from the Aesop Queer Liberation Library, which is something that they do every year around Pride Month, where they open up in their physical stores a library where you can go and peruse all of their queer books. They have tons of Ocean Vuong books and other authors. This is one that has been on my TBR for a long time, so I picked up a copy. It's by Pedro Lemebel, A Last Supper of Queer Apostles Selected Essays. This one is by a writer and artist that was living through the AIDS epidemic in Chile and is coming from that perspective. It is one that I have been wanting to pick up. In general, I want to hear and read from voices that are outside of America that are talking about and having conversation about the effects of colonialism, especially outside of relation to the United States, or because of the effects of what the United States has done. Imperialism is worldwide, and you must listen to the voices of the people who were affected by them. Those are all books that I'm very excited about. The next one is because I'm really into mermaids right now, okay? When it's fantasy books at the moment, mermaids and witches are calling to me. So obviously I had to pick up The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Tokuda-Hall. I have been wanting to pick this up for a really long time, and I saw it at a bookstore in Turkey. And that, I don't know why, is the reason why it felt like a sign that I needed to pick it up. I was going to read it when I was there because I was there traveling for like a month. I didn't end up doing that. I ended up reading only on my Kobo or audiobooks. So anyway, this is on the physical TBR. I do want to read it. Don't know why. It is like stiffer than paperbacks that are from here. It is technically a UK paperback. Is there a thing to that? I don't know. The next one I have is called Burn the Sea by Mona Tawari. I am very excited about this book. Look at this freaking cover. I know that I'm going to like it because I have seen its comparables and I have seen the description and it's right up my alley, especially because I really love Kauwe by Vaishnavi Patel. I love women, South Asian women who are evil or who have been told that they are evil and respond in ways that are not kind. I'm a fan, personally. Sign me up for that genre every single time. And this one, I believe, is in conversation directly with Portuguese colonization, which honestly, the Portuguese should be getting more shit, so really excited about that. You'll notice that there is a theme here. The theme is colonialism and imperialism. I am interested in the voices of those affected by it and how they are responding to it in a post-colonial era. Very interested. Next one we have is by a Hawaiian author, and this one is called The Killing Spell. Shay, I think is how you pronounce her last name. And this one is a fantasy debut set in a future Los Angeles where language magic reigns. and a young Hawaiian woman named Kia Petrova must solve a murder case to clear her name. Sounds like a fun summer read to me. The last one that's on my physical TBR is called Art on My Mind by Bell Hooks, and this one is because art is quite literally on my mind right now. I cannot stop painting or drawing or just picking up every single tool at my disposal to make shit. I fully got a whole set to get into linocut printing. I will get into it very soon, but I wanted to get this because I have heard good things, and also I saw it on a shelf on a day when it was feeling like this is the time for me to pick this up, which is how Bell Hooks books appear to me typically, or any Bell Hooks writing. It just usually appears at the right time that I need it, and that is what happened with this one. So I'm excited to pick it up and see where it leads me. Here's the stack. This is the physical TBR for this point in time. I will be reading these books, okay? And I typically, when I read a physical book, I do pick up an accompanying other form. Like, for example, my Kobo has really been, we've been locked in right now. We're like this, especially after Kindle decided all of its old devices need to just go into a garbage can, which is rude as fuck. And I now have to jailbreak a Kindle. Annoying about that. But now me and my Kobo are like this. And so sometimes I will pick up, if the library has a loan, and send it to my Kobo of whatever physical book I'm reading, because I don't like to take them with me out and about as much anymore, and I'll just do the Kobo. Or if I can pick up an audiobook version, I will be doing that. So these are the books. I think it's a doable list. There's 2 or 3 in here that I think I'm gonna finish, and like the others, we're hoping and praying. 7, 8, 9, 10 books. 10 books is not bad. Is it 10? Yes, 10 books. Could be worse. Those are 10 books that are on my TBR from now till the end of the year. I would love to hear about any arcs that you've been sent, or any books that you have purchased, or books from the library that you've gotten that you are excited about reading this year. And I am happy to be back here on YouTube. These are a couple of video ideas that I have that are circulating in my brain. I want to talk about my journaling ecosystem. That is the buzzword people are using, so that is the buzzword I will use. And I also want to do my mid-year book freakout tag. So I'm going to be filming those, and those will be up to you soon. You can subscribe to my Bindery page to get early uploads, and you can also find like the full written version if you are subscribed to my Bindery. Any other things or links that you want to find me on, you will find in the description bar, and that is all I have for today. Bye!